This is my 1963 Pontiac Star Chief Vista, a car that I'm going to fix eventually and bought a few years back for some of the trim and stuff to use on my car. And I mean, it's a Vista, and meaning that when you roll the windows down, there's no center post right here, and these are worth more fixed up than my post car. But this car also needs a lot of work, but I don't think it'd be worth my time to me to fix it because I like the car. It's got a solid frame. It's got a little bit of rust, you know, in the bottoms here. This side isn't as bad, but I mean, it's had some Bondo put in it from a previous paint job back in the day. And quarter panels are shot. Really, I'd probably want to cut them off about right here and weld with some patch panels in here, because this is all Bondo on this one. This is all Bondo down here. And I'm also gonna need some front gutters for it, because this has the factory delete option. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and there's my cat. She likes playing around in there. So last registered in, I think it was 1983. This side's quarter has the same deal, but this side's a little bit worse. It needs fixed here. There's a little bit of rust here. Rocker, I can actually put my fingers up under it on this side, so it needs a little bit of repair there. And really, I think I'll just replace this whole door as thin as it is, because it's really flimsy, and it's got a lot of Bondo in it. Like, look how thick it is. And it goes, it's rotten all through there. But I could fix it, but by the time I get a new door, it would just be easier. And I could probably get one of the chromes nice right here. It's just a bit quicker. But the car had a busted piston in it after I got it running, and smoked like a tire kettle. And I didn't know that at the time, because the guy I got it from told me he was told it was supposed to run good. So I went ahead and got it running after I pulled up the interior. So I pulled up the carburetor to keep the floors from rotting, because they only have a few little spots. It's got a tilt wheel too, is also what I kind of bought it for. I thought about putting that in my red car. I'm in my white car. It's also an AC car. It's a really nice car, actually. Not that bad. The headliner's even nice. I accidentally ripped it though right there, but even the door panels are pretty decent on this car. I mean, they're really, the armrests need new padding, but I could fix that and get that bow out of it from where it's got wet. A little bit of rust here and a few other spots, but a couple months of just playing around in my free time, I could have this car looking pretty good. It even has a trailer hitch and stuff on it, and odometer shows 32,000 miles, but looking at that brake pedal wear, I think it's 132,000. But I got a lot of stuff for my car out of this. I got a factory bumper jack, some factory hub sword if I want to go back to my steel wheels. A lot of nice trim for it. The back glass on these cars are a little different, because the car, it's just shaped different back here, but these are pretty nice, and I actually get better ones when I do paint mine. But I went ahead and replaced the motor in it. This motor come out of a wagon, and the guy I got the car from gave it to me because he felt bad. But it's pretty nice. I have these chrome valve covers I put on it, and put this aluminum radiator in it, and went ahead and painted the engine bay. It's been sitting down here for a few years, so you know, it's kind of dirty, and I had to borrow the plug wires and stuff off of it to break in my motor, and I never did put them back on here. I need to get this one back running again. It needs brakes, because someone back in the past must have been locked out and completely tore them back down. I probably had to clean the points by now, because it's been sitting down here a little bit. I need to get the brakes working and wire up a fuel system. Not wire up, I need to run a fuel system to the fuel pump and run it to the carburetor, because this carburetor's loose because I used it to break in my motor. It's a dang good carburetor. It's been on just about every car I own. So, but I went ahead and put through a gasket kit in this motor. It's a dang good running engine, has hardly any blow by. But if I get brakes on this and a fuel system, it'll be pretty close to being a go into town rig, I reckon. I'll have to fix the rust of it. But I like this car. It's pretty rare. I know it needs some work, but it's a Pontiac, and the Pontiac with solid frame is worth fixing in my book. And this one's really not that bad of a car to start with, especially since I already put the engine in it. It's also got the factory 4-speed automatic, 4-speed hydromatic jetaway in it. And this hood's actually off my car because it's solid, more solid than the one that's on my white car now. The guy wanted to keep the hood. Now, last I heard, he told me I could buy it back from him. So he decided he wasn't going to use it. He was going to cut a hole in the hood, make a functional scoop for his car. But I didn't figure he ever would, and well, he didn't. But it'd be a good project car for me. I mean, be a lot of good learning to do on this, and if I screw it up or something's not perfect on it, you know, oh well, it's better than it was. But this car had been sitting in the woods since the 80s, and then my buddy got it, and it sat in his woods for probably 5 years, and he told me about it. So I drove 3 hours, about 3 hours to go look at it, and had a rollback bring it home. And I mean, it's a fun project to get the motor and stuff in it and get it back running and driving, basically. But a little bit of work, this car looked good. I'm thinking I'm gonna I'll leave this trim on it when I do paint it, if I ever get around to doing it, which I think I will. I'll leave this, and all this trim will come off down the side, and this will come off because I don't really like that on a 4-door. And I'll weld up these holes and paint like a cherry red metallic or something. And I might go back with a white top like this, because this is factory, and this is about the factory red color, and it's had to repaint. But I think it would give it kind of Grand Prix body lines, because it'll have that smooth and sleek look to it. But I think it'll look pretty good like that, and that way I can still get trim off of it and not have to buy more to replace it. The car's had a rough life, and I hope that I can fix that for it. And I hope I can bring it back to its formal glory one of these days, because it's a cool car. This is just cool in my book. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and y'all have a good one.